Police say Walker was driving in Hollis, Queens overnight on his way home from his brother's house when someone in a passing car shot at him at least 3 times, causing him to crash his van.
Stretch, a talented rapper and producer in the late 80s, teamed up with his brother Majesty and a guy named Kalo to form the group Live Squad, an independent group from Queens that produced their own music and was also affiliated with the Young Guns. Live Squad's first EP was released in the late 80s and featured appearances by the legendary Purse P, but Stretch's productions and his raspy voice drew a lot of attention. Ed Lover, the host of Yo MTV Raps at the time, really liked the EP and sent it to Tommy Boy. The label also liked it and started investing in Live Squad. After starting to work with Tommy Boy, the group met Shock D, who had a contract with the label with his group Digital Underground. Chuck D appeared on a track on their second album, and it was through him that Stretch met Tupac, before he became famous in rap and movies. From then on, Stretch and Tupac were often seen together. Stretch made an appearance in the movie Juice, starring Tupac, along with another member of Naughty by Nature. Stretch and Tupac bonded after an incident on the movie set, starting a great friendship. Stretch appeared on 2 songs on Tupac's debut album, one of which he produced. Tupac performed one of the album's big hits on Yo MTV Raps, thanks to Stretch, who asked his friend Ed Lover for help. Stretch did the backup vocals in that performance. The connection between Ed Lover and Stretch lasted quite a while, with Stretch playing Benny in the movie Who's the Man, starring Ed Lover and his partner Dr. Dre, also a host of Yo MTV Raps. Tommy Boy really invested in Live Squad, releasing the classic hit with a video Heartless, a violent gangster rap that became a favorite. Tommy Boy released a short film of the group, featuring new songs with videos that would be on their debut album, which unfortunately was never released. Live Squad produced, participated in, and helped write some songs on Tupac's second album, including the track Struggling. Overall, Stretch produced 3 songs, in addition to producing for Live Squad, one of the hits he produced featuring Live Squad. After the group Live Squad disbanded because Tomeboy didn't want to sign them due to the violent content of their songs, Stretch continued alongside his friend Tupac, who was the godfather of his daughter. Tupac was very close to Stretch's family. This photo you are seeing is with Stretch's sister. Stretch became more well known for his collaborations with Tupac and his frequent appearances with the rapper. He appeared in Tupac's music videos, during Tupac's visit to a school in Los Angeles, at the premiere of Tupac's film Poetic Justice, and when Tupac attended court in Atlanta for shooting 2 policemen. Stretch was always by Tupac's side, attending many of the rapper's hearings. If you look up some videos, you'll see Stretch in the background. In interviews, Tupac made a point of promoting Stretch. There is a classic 1992 interview with Tupac and Live Squad on the streets of Times Square, although the quality of the available videos is poor. Stretch had a leading role in the Girl Team music video by Mac Mall, directed by Tupac, who also appears in the video. Stretch produced and sang on Tupac's song Pain, which was part of the soundtrack for the film Above the Rim, starring Tupac. They performed a version of this song on the Arsenio Hall show in 1994. In 1994, Stretch also did backing vocals while Tupac sang out on bail at the Source Awards, the same event where Tupac took the microphone from Q-Tip of A Tribe Called Quest and performed live. Stretch starred alongside Tupac in the film Bullet, which was Stretch's last film. Stretch was an original member of the group Thug Life and sang on the song Thug Life, the first song made with the group's original lineup. On the album released with new members, despite his collaborations, Stretch stood out more as a producer, being part of the Thug Music production team along with Tupac and Live Squad. One of the songs from the album that was removed, but features Stretch, is the classic Run from the Police, one of the few songs where Tupac sings with Notorious B.I.G. The song was removed due to the East Coast-West Coast conflict. Another removed song was House of Pain, also with Big, Tupac, and Stretch, another classic that showcases the Tupac and Big duo. Another collaboration between Tupac and Big is quite random and appeared on a DJ's album. If you want a video about these songs and the reasons they weren't released, comment below and leave a like. The goal is 3,000 likes. Big met Tupac in 1993 during a performance by Thug Life members. Stretch was also close to Big due to this friendship. There is a 1993 performance by Tupac at a university where he had Live Squad and Big open the show, and this performance is on YouTube. Despite there being many songs by Stretch with Tupac, unfortunately, they were only released after both had died because the friendship between Tupac and Stretch ended on the day Tupac was robbed and shot at Quad Studio. Before he left, Tupac was already scared. He needed the money because of the legal troubles he was facing. All his money was going to lawyers. His shows were being canceled. Tupac was being canceled at that time. Just problems. Shortly before, he recorded some verses with Stretch on a song by Ron D, and look how he started his verse.
You feel me? I think niggas is trying to kill me.
After the session, Tupac and Stretch went to Quad Studio, where Tupac was to collaborate on a song with Lil Sean, a rapper managed at the time by Jimmy Henchman. This guy was already pressuring Tupac to show up, but Tupac was suspicious because he knew Jimmy Henchman only through his former partners, including Hater Jack. He knew this guy was not trustworthy, and Jimmy Henchman was stalling about the payment. In the end, Henchman claimed he had the money, so Tupac went, but the collaboration never happened. At the entrance of the studio, Tupac was ambushed. They took $40,000 in jewelry and left him full of injuries, but no one touched Stretch. He simply threw himself on the ground and stayed quiet, which Tupac found strange. Maybe the robbers knew Stretch and didn't want to mess with him. Anyway, it was Jimmy Henchman who set it all up, and Dexter Isaac was the guy who robbed and shot Tupac. He claims to still have the stolen chain to this day, but I've never seen it. After this attack, Stretch started hanging out a lot with Big, and he said that Jimmy Henchman was behind it all. Stretch tried to visit Tupac in prison but was not allowed in. We only have moments of Stretch with Tupac before death row, even though Stretch was one of Tupac's closest friends in the early days in the industry. There is no photo of Stretch with Tupac in prison, although there are with Mike Tyson and other friends. They say that, besides Tupac not liking Stretch's behavior during the robbery, he also didn't like Stretch doing shows with Big. Tupac declared Stretch his enemy in a letter from prison, listing all his opponents. Stretch was on the list. When the album Me Against the World came out, Tupac removed Stretch's voice from the classic So Many Tears. Check out the original version.
Now I pray that a nigga remains calm, oh God, will I...
Tupac really found it suspicious that Stretch didn't do anything when the robbers approached him. In an interview for Vibe during his imprisonment, Tupac talked about it. In response, Stretch said in another interview that he was unarmed and couldn't do anything, and that Tupac wanted him to jump in to defend him. He also confirmed that some reports indicated that Tupac shot himself trying to grab his gun. Tim Richmond said he just wanted to scare him. After getting out of prison, Tupac took all his friends to death row. Some signed contracts, but Stretch was not one of them. Tupac soon threw a jab at Stretch in the first song he recorded after getting out of prison. He described Stretch as the traitor infiltrated in his group. Less than 2 months after Tupac got out of prison, Stretch was cruelly murdered.
The Walker family is devastated by the loss of rap artist Randy Walker. He was just 27 years old.
And I can't believe he's gone. I can't believe he's gone.
Walker's wife and 6-year-old daughter Monisha are trying to come to grips with their tragic loss. Now, all they have...
This happened after a studio session with Nas. On Nas's second album, there are 2 productions by Live Squad, the last song Stretch made, and in one of them Nas even mentions his name. On November 30th, exactly 1 year after the attack on Tupac at Quad Studios, and with just 5 minutes difference, Stretch was leaving a session with his brother from Live Squad and Nas, on his way to a big show. Nas was in Stretch's car before the murder. Stretch gave Nas a ride, dropped him off, and then dropped his brother off at home. Your brother and Nas could have been dead, you know? So, while Stretch was driving through the streets of Queens on his way to Big Show, a black car with some guys pulled up next to him and started shooting. Then, a high-speed chase ensued, with the guys shooting at his SUV, and Stretch was unarmed because he didn't like carrying guns. In the end, Stretch was hit by 4 shots in the back, crashed into a tree, and the car flipped over.
Walker was driving in Hollis, Queens overnight on his way home from his brother's house when someone in a passing car shot at him at least 3 times, causing him to...
The theory about his death is that Stretch stole a brick from a dealer and refused to return it, something that was common among the Young Guns crew. All of Stretch's friends, including his brother, said he died because of some street beef. You don't know, the same killer of Jam Master Jay from Run DMC was held responsible for Stretch's death. Tupac sent a verse to Stretch after his death, in a song that came out on the Machiavelli album. Neither Big nor Tupac attended the funeral, and Ed Lover confronted Tupac when he saw him. Apparently, he didn't like it much since it was at the same event as the photo you're seeing. The story about Stretch being involved in the attack on Tupac at Quad Studios is as follows. In 2018, a video went viral after Dexter Izaki, the alleged shooter, gave an interview where he revealed that Jimmy Reitman was the mastermind and that Stretch helped set up the robbery because Jimmy Reitman promised him a brick of cocaine. From what I know, Dexter Izaki helped with Jimmy Reitman's first company, so their association existed. A member of the Owl Owls said that Tupac revealed Stretch was asking for his gun that night, even though Stretch was always against carrying weapons. The truth that many believe is that Stretch was not involved in the robbery against Tupac, nor was Tupac involved in his death, but Tupac died believing Stretch had something to do with it. And you, what do you think? Comment below. The video ends here. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a summary of Stretch's life, his friendship with Tupac, and this supposed betrayal. We're together. Leave a like, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and hit the bell to get the videos right away. Bye guys, I'm out.